How well do you know Nintendo? 5 seconds to answer. Only one correct answer. Medium and easy. Are you a true fan?
In what year was Nintendo founded? 1889, 1933, 1946, or 1975? 1889. In which game did Mario first appear? Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, Wrecking Crew. Donkey Kong. Which Nintendo console first popularized motion controls on a large scale? GameCube, Nintendo 64, Switch, Wii. Wii. What is the name of Princess Peach's home kingdom? Dream Kingdom, Mushroom Kingdom, Hyrule, Star Kingdom. Mushroom Kingdom. Which of these characters is not from the Nintendo universe? Kirby, Link, Sonic, Yoshi. Sonic. Which Nintendo handheld had 2 screens, one of them touch? Nintendo DS, Game Boy Advance, Wii U, PSP. Nintendo DS. In The Legend of Zelda, what is Link's legendary sword called? Hylian Saber, Master Sword, Excalibur, Dark Blade. Master Sword. Which of these is a Kanto starter Pokémon? Torchic, Totodile, Piplup, Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur. In which game does Samus Aran appear for the first time? Metroid, Earthbound, Star Fox, F-Zero. Metroid. Which Nintendo system still used cartridges in 2006? GameCube, Nintendo DS, Wii, NES. Nintendo DS. In Mario Kart, which item makes you temporarily invincible? Blue shell, Boo, Star, Banana. Star. What is the name of the princess in The Legend of Zelda? Zelda, Daisy, Peach, Pauline. Zelda. Which company originally developed the Super Smash Bros. Series? Game Freak, Square Enix, Sora Limited, HAL Laboratory. HAL Laboratory. What is Mario's brother's name? Wario, Luigi, Bowser, Toad. Luigi. Which Zelda game is set on Kahaland Island? Link's Awakening, Metroid, Pokémon, Animal Crossing. Link's Awakening. Who is the main villain in many Zelda games? King K, Rule, Dr. Eggman, Ganondorf, Ridley. Ganondorf. In Pokémon, which type is super effective against water? Fire, rock, electric, grass. Grass. Which console is known for its 3-pronged controller? Nintendo 64, Wii, SNES, GameCube. Nintendo 64. In Animal Crossing, who runs the main shop/real estate business? Isabelle, Tom Nook, Blathers, KK Slider. Tom Nook. Which Nintendo racing series is set in a futuristic world? Wave Race, Excitebike, Pilot Wings, F-Zero. F-Zero. What is the kingdom called where Zelda games often take place? Hyrule, Termina, Midgar, Lordran. Hyrule. Which Nintendo console was released in 2017? Wii U, 3DS, Switch, GameCube. Switch. Which character is Mario's evil rival with a yellow and purple outfit? Waluigi, Wario, Wart, Bowser Jr. Wario. In Splatoon, what do characters use to fight? Ink, ice, magic, fire. Ink. In Ocarina of Time, where does young Link start his adventure? Zora, Sheikah, Gerudo, Kokiri. Kokiri. Which Nintendo console was the first to use optical discs? Mini? SNES, GameCube, NES, Wii. GameCube. In Pokémon, which Pokéball is the most powerful among these? Ultra Ball, Net Ball, Master Ball, Great Ball. Master Ball. In Super Mario, what is the name of Mario's dinosaur friend? Yoshi, Birdo, Koopa, Toad. Yoshi. Which Nintendo game is a life sim with villagers and neighbors? Metroid, Pikmin, Star Fox, Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing. Which character is a famous Nintendo hero/ally who is a big gorilla? Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong, King K. Rule, Funky Kong. Donkey Kong. What does NES stand for? Nintendo Entertainment System, Neo Electronic System, Nintendo Elite System, New Entertainment Station. Nintendo Entertainment System. In Pokémon, who created the Kanto Pokédex? Professor Juniper, Professor Elm, Professor Oak, Professor Rowan. Professor Oak. Which Nintendo game stars a captain who commands tiny creatures called Pikmin? Star Fox, Pikmin, Fire Emblem, Kirby's Dream Land. Pikmin. In Super Mario, what is the most common turtle enemy called? Boo, Shy Guy, Goomba, Koopa Troopa. Koopa Troopa. In Zelda, what is Link's horse often called? Epona, Roach, Shadowmere, Aggro. Epona. Which Nintendo series is a turn-based strategy game with permadeath? Mario Party, Kirby, Fire Emblem, WarioWare. Fire Emblem. In Mario, who is the main antagonist who kidnaps Peach? Donkey Kong, Bowser, King Boo, Wario. Bowser. Which Nintendo handheld introduced glasses-free 3D? Wii U Gamepad, Nintendo DS Lite, Game Boy Color, Nintendo 3DS. Nintendo 3DS. In Metroid, what is Ridley often described as? Space Dragon, Space Pirates, Metroid, Chozo. Space Dragon. Which Nintendo game is famous for the character K? K, singing at Saturday concerts? Pokémon, Splatoon, Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion. Animal Crossing.
Thanks for playing with Mind Game Trivia. Before you go, remember to subscribe, hit like and share. See you next time.